Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia, and today I'm gonna be talking about confidence. Confidence for me has been hard. It's been a really long road for me to build up self-love, to be confident with myself, and to accept my body for the way it is, because I've always been a very chubby girl. I've always been not super big and not overweight, but I've always been chubby, and it's always got to me since young. Like, I always used to wish I was skinnier. I used to always wish, because all my friends that I've always been friends with have always been skinny, or even if they did have a little weight on them, they were thick, like they look nice. For me, it wasn't easy. I've always struggled with my weight. Even if I lost the weight, I would always get it back some way, somehow. So it was really hard for me, and I always felt down about myself. I was very cautious. Even when I dated guys, I never was the type to take pictures, nothing. I've always been, not disgusted with myself, but I wasn't happy with the way I looked. So I fell into depression. I ate a lot. I didn't care if I was 200 pounds. I did not care how I looked. I was just like, what, screw it. Nobody's gonna want me this way. No guy's gonna like me. And I'm gonna always get judged. So I didn't really care, and I let myself go a lot. And it took for the relationship that I'm in now for me to feel more comfortable with my weight and to feel more self-love, just because my boyfriend is so accepting of me. Like, he does not care how I look. He always tells me I'm beautiful. He always makes me feel good, and I needed that. And even my mom and my brother always tell me, don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You're beautiful. And it helped. I mean, there were times my brother and my mom or even my boyfriend would tell me I look pretty, and I'm like, you're lying, it's not true, like, I look ugly. So it took time for me to start, loving myself. And what worked for me was every day I would just take a picture of myself, of my body. Even, fully clothed, I would just take pictures of my body, and I'll sit there for like 30 minutes, I would say, and just look at myself. And I would point out parts of myself that I liked, and even the parts I didn't like my stretch marks, or I have suffered from eczema, so I would look at my eczema and I would just say, what, I still look beautiful. Like, it may not look all that, and there may be people that are gonna look at you and just say, oh, like, that's nasty or whatever. But I've learned that it's not about how people look at you. It's not about what people are happy with. It's about what you're happy with, what you like. If you love yourself, that's all that matters. As long as you feel confident in yourself, and you could wake up and wear a dress, you could wear crop tops, you could wear shorts, you could wear whatever you want. As long as you feel beautiful, that's all that matters. It does not matter what a guy that you like thinks, or what your family thinks, what anybody thinks. As long as you feel beautiful, that's all that matters. And it's hard to have that type of confidence when you've been sexually abused, or you suffer from depression, or you've gone through bad experiences with guys and relationships and bullies in school. It's hard to keep that mentality, because we're in a day and age where you're judged all the time by appearance. You have to look this way, or if you look this way, you're considered ugly, or guys don't want you. So it's hard in this day and age. But I learned that you have to just say screw what everybody else thinks. As long as you're happy with yourself, that's all that matters. Honestly, it's hard because me being sexually abused, I felt disgusted with myself for a very long time. It wasn't my fault, but just because of it happening, you feel disgusted with yourself. You feel like, oh, I'm ugly, or I feel used, and no guy's gonna want me because was molested, or I was raped, and it takes a real man or a real woman to look at you and see that you was abused or raped and still love you for you, and not think of it like, oh, she was molested or raped, so ill. It takes a real genuine person to appreciate that and to know your flaws and what you've gone through and still love you for you. And it wasn't easy for me. I My depression really got a hold of me really, really badly. So on top of what happened to me, I was going through depression, so it made things worse. Because even when people would tell me, oh, Felicia, you're beautiful, I never believed it, because I was just like, oh, they're just saying this because you're my friend, or you're saying this because you're my mom. I didn't really believe it. It took a really long time. And like I said, I started taking pictures of myself, and I would look at my flaws and just find a way to say something positive about it and go from there. And I wear what I want. I feel comfortable in it, and I feel beautiful, and I don't care what anybody says. I started building up my confidence with that, and doing YouTube or doing my support group really helped my confidence a lot as well, because I am a shy person sometimes. I'm outgoing to my friends, but when I first meet you or in front of a camera, I feel nervous. That's why I look away a lot, even in my videos. I'm starting now to build up my confidence as I go, and start accepting myself, accepting the way I look, and just moving on from there. And if I could give any piece of advice to any girl or any guy that goes through depression or has been sexually abused, or even just suffers but goes through a lot of putting yourself down and self-doubt, I would say look at yourself in the mirror, pick something out about yourself that you love, and compliment yourself. Don't wait for a guy to compliment you. Don't wait for anybody else to compliment you. Start complimenting yourself first. And yes, it feels good when a guy tells you you're beautiful, or even when your friends or anybody says, oh, you look beautiful. Yes, it feels good, but you have to find yourself beautiful before anybody else could. Because one thing is for sure, everybody loves a confident and proud person, somebody that's real, that could have flaws but still finds themselves to be beautiful and still loves themselves. A confident person is gonna get a longer way than a depressed person, because you're gonna have a lot of self-doubt. There were times that I got good feedback on my support group, and because I didn't believe in myself, I wouldn't take it, or I would be like, yeah, they're probably lying, or maybe, it took a really long time for me to look at myself and really start being proud of myself, looking at myself, saying I'm beautiful, accepting myself more, and just all those type of things. Like, it really took a really long time for me, and I'm glad that I got up the courage to do YouTube and to do videos like this, just to reach out to girls and guys that might be in the same space as me or have been in the same space as me, because it's a real thing. It's really serious. People look at you and hear you judge yourself, and they're like, oh, girl, you got nothing to worry about. Or even to guys, like, you have nothing to worry about, you're handsome, or you're attractive, or you're beautiful. And if you're not accepting of yourself, it's hard to take those compliments. So, you just have to work on yourself every day. Write things down, take time for yourself, go to the spa, do things for yourself to make you feel good before you could take it from anybody else, and just keep going from there. I'm gonna start doing more topics like this in my videos and just talk about it from my personal experience and give advice and go from there. So if you have any ideas or any topics, comment that below, and I love you all and have a beautiful day. Bye.